everybody, it's Amira. I'm here to bring you my design team project for the Aunty Vera Scrap and Craft April kit. Uh, as it's April, I decided to do an egg carton, a prettied up egg carton project. So here I did go out specifically to buy this 6-pack. Our house is a huge egg lover, and I usually buy 3 dozen cartons. So I bought this little pack specifically for this project. I've always wanted to make one of these for myself, so I'm so excited to be doing this. So first thing you have to do is take off that sticker. Also make sure when you buy that pack that there are no damaged eggs, so that there's no leakage on the inside. So yeah, so the first thing I did was I added a darker color, and I chose this Colony Blue by Joe Sonia. And yeah, just be prepared to use a lot of paint. So if you're just about to run out of that paint, don't use it. Make sure you have a full tube, because that is the material that egg cartons are made of is super absorbent. It just sucked it up. I mean, you could do it with gesso first so that you don't have to add so much color or paint, but you'd be using gesso up. So I decided to just go with this. This was an old tube I had. It was full, but it was an old tube, and I just want to use up all my stuff before I go out and get new stuff. So it was a good project. Don't forget to do the underside with all those crevices, and yeah, it took a long time. I didn't think it would take this long, but there you go. Yeah, just make sure nice smooth, no brush strokes. Now I have a little bit of footage that I missed here because I put the crackle paint on one night when I had no battery, so I just thought, well, it's okay. It's just putting on a clear layer. So I added a clear layer of crackle paint all over in the same method as I put the paint, and I let that dry overnight. And then the next day I decided to come in and put on this really light color here. And as soon as you put it on, and as soon as you, acrylic paint dries really fast. So as soon as you put it on, it crackles right up, which I love. I love this look. So then I decided whether or not to leave it nude or to go ahead and add paper to it. I did I did go down that thought of adding some of the Easter paper that we got in the kit, but that paper is real paper and it will cover up all this work that you just did. So I went with tissue paper, and I made sure I peeled off all those extra layers, and I just have the one layer so that the crackle shows underneath it. So yes, adding some glue here. Now I did use Mod Podge because it's just a nice watery consistency, and yeah, I just made sure that the placement of the pattern on the tissue paper was to my liking, and very gently very gently just add it down, press it down. If you're too rough, you will tear that paper, and you don't, I mean, I didn't want any breaks. Some people don't mind, they just, fix it all up, and that's okay too. So, but very gently, I just went along, and so you've got Mod Podge on the underlayer and Mod Podge on top to protect your pretty project. Now I'm just fiddling here with the edges, making it look nice. Tissue paper is so thin, so it just goes in really nicely, but you just don't want those bits to be fluffing about, if you know what I mean. So I did end up just covering the lid. I didn't go on the inside, and I didn't go on those egg holders at the bottom there. So just cleaning up the edges here. And I did poke a hole in that one little thing there. I wasn't sure whether to or not, but I did end up poking that hole. So I that takes a long time to dry too, so I put that aside, and with the underlayers of the tissue paper, I stamped out a whole lot of icons from that Sizzix stamp set that came with the April kit. I used the archival ink and just a little stamp block, and so cute. So I colored them in using my distress inks and a little brush. So I smushed the ink down on the side on an acrylic pad on the side, and I just added like all these colors. I knew I wanted to do this because I wanted to wrap. I didn't want to decorate Easter eggs. I thought at first that I would, but then I decided that I was going to just wrap Easter eggs with the stamps, and I didn't want to stamp directly onto styrofoam eggs because they're a round surface and that will never go well with me. So I decided to stamp them onto tissue paper and then wrap that paper around the eggs. Now I thought it would be really cool to paint one, and as you can see there, I used a toothpick just to make it less messy and easier to rotate and to dry. But I really don't think I'm not sure. I didn't like how it turned out at the end, so it was only just that one that I painted. The rest I just put the stamped tissue paper directly onto the white, and I think it looks good. I might have a play around later with decorating Easter eggs like a Fabergé egg, but this did not go as I expected, so it was good trying. Anyway, so that's what it looked like there. Not so good. Just shows the inconsistency of the wrinkles, I thought. So this is how I did the rest of them. You'll notice that there's a really large one there at the very top. That didn't even fit in in the egg carton, so I actually don't refer to that one ever again. You just see it there for a minute and then I don't do it again. I'll keep that one for later. So in this gorgeous paper that we got in the kit, there's this one paper that just needed to be used. Look at the fussy cutting is just perfect, and I thought it would be a really good element to incorporate here. So I put it in and I'm thinking, it looks so stark. So I'm about to cut off some here, and if this is going to hurt you, turn away, because I actually shred up this brand new paper. So I'm really sorry if this hurts your feelings, but I didn't want to use any old crappy paper. I wanted to use this paper. This paper is so thick and so good. It's got like glossy accents in it, and it's just beautiful paper, and it's spotty. Like, I love spotty paper. It was just the right colors also that went with this eggs. So I did end up using that and just taking some pictures there for the blog. This is the reality of being a design team member. So I see, there's that, not gonna fit. So I'm just organizing them there just to see how it looks, and I actually quite like the shreddings. I like how they look, but now I'm thinking something's missing, so I'm taking it to the next level. So this is the next day, thinking of decorating the outside of the box. You go through these, I think it's a process. You think at first that that's really good, that's all it takes, but no, it actually needs a little bit more. So because it's an egg carton, I did decide to use the label that said egg from the ephemera pack, so I thought that was really cool. I then grabbed some of that Santoro leaf ribbon and I wrapped it around the outside. Now I'm just flicking back to the inside here, and you'll see that what I did was I lined the inside of the paper with pink, the inside of the lid with pink paper, and I'm now flicking back in, and I found all these little buntings and it says hunt, so I thought egg hunt sounded really good. So you'll notice that what I do is I flit around from the inside to the outside, waiting for stuff to dry, so it's not really one big process. it is one big process, but it's not a smooth process. It's choppy and changey. So the inside of that lid was still not right for me. So I put the paper down and then I thought, oh, it looks empty. So I'm trying here with tulle, pink sparkly tulle. I tried first with my PVA, that didn't keep it down. I then tried with my Scotch glue, but that didn't keep it down. And you do end up going for, I did end up going with the glue gun, and that was perfect. And then I decided to shred some more paper. So I wanted to line, like it still didn't look right. It still looked empty. And really at this stage, you are just going with how it feels for you. There's no right or wrong in this. It's to your liking and to your gut feeling. I think it was very intuitive for me. I knew when it was right and I knew when it wasn't, and that it needed more. So I felt like it still needed something to line it, and with the use of that glue gun there, it made it so much easier. Whereas before I was really struggling wrapping the shreddings into each of the egg holder components. So I ended up also bunching the ribbon in the corner of each of the lid, each corners of the lid, and I thought that that didn't look so good. I am trying here. I am trying. My mind's working. So then I just decided to leave that for a little while and go back to my eggs. So this is what they looked like, all wrapped up with the stamps, and then I grabbed some of this Prima flour and I put it on top, and I thought that they're really cute. They look like those Snugglepot characters with the flowers on their hairs. So I put some on their heads, and then I made it look like they were holding the flowers as well. I also wrapped some of the centaur leaf ribbon around it to make it look like they had little feet. That was really cute, except it was a little bit fiddly, so I ended up cutting some of this footage out because I was doing a lot of it really close to myself, and I didn't catch it on camera. So, but you know what I was doing. I then found some of these leaves and I put it onto this bigger egg, and I found, yes, just some plastic flowers, and I put it up the top there, and I think that's so cute. And that turned out to be my sentiment Easter egg. And then I bought this entire Easter egg, chocolate Easter eggs for this project, and I only had 4 left over by the time I sat down to it. My kids are like terrible. So at this stage I thought I was done, but I still felt like it didn't feel right. So back I went into the lid, and I decided to add just yet again more stuff. I thought of what a real bird's nest looked like, and it's full of stuff. If you've ever looked in one or deconstructed one, it is full of anything and everything that poor little birdie could find. So I went into my cupboards here, and I found lace, and I found feathers, and I found like flower ribbons, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna see if this works. And as I was putting them, I just like, yes, that feels so good. Yes, that looks so great. And so I just kept adding all, and they were all different color feathers, and I really didn't mind. I think it added to the softness and just all the extra layers and the extra textures. So I was really happy at the stage. I felt like I was on the home stretch and that this was the right thing to do, so I just kept doing it. So there was one little feather left over there, so what I decided to do was just to add it. Oh, sorry, one more picture for the blog. I added just one more element, which was feathers, into the little egg carton, the egg holders in that other portion right here, the other portion of the carton. I just put a few here and there just to add just a little bit of, I don't know, dimension or movement, I guess, movement. And then at first I thought I was not going to glue down the little styrofoam eggs, but as I was testing it out, they just kept falling out of place and landing in the wrong placement, and I wanted you to see like the cute chick every time, the cute bunny every time, so I did end up gluing them in place, and I think that that was the right thing to do for me. So cute. I love them. So just making sure that what you see is the right one there. So um, yeah, that one, and then the Hoppy Easter one, the larger one, that ends up coming back one stage, and you really get to see the sentiment. As soon as you open the egg carton, you see Hoppy Easter, which is really cute. I love how it turned out with the fake flower, like hairpiece on top. Just, yeah, it just takes a little bit of finagling. And I had about 2.5 hours of footage here, and I really had to cut some of it away. So there's just enough holes for 4 little eggs, which is all a girl really needs, really. So here it is, all together. From the front, it looks like that. The little happy egg hunt at the bottom. The inside looks really good, and you just want to touch it because of all the components and all the little eggs there, and there are even some for you to eat. So thank you so much for joining me for this project. Happy Easter, everybody. I've put a few pictures at the very end for you to look at.